Good evening, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. Time is 6 p.m. And the special meeting for the Historical Landmark Commission for the City of Socorro is now in session.
Line item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Line item number 3, Establishment of Quorum. We have Mr. Rafael Padilla, Mr. Ricardo Rocha, Mr. Al Borrego, Mr. David Estrada, Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo, and Mr. Jesse Montelongo. We have a full quorum. Line item number 4, Public Comment. We have no one signed up for public comment. Line item number 5, Excuse of Absent Commission Members. And as mentioned, we do have a full quorum. Line item number 6, discussion and action on approving regular meeting minutes for the meeting held on April 8th, 2026 of the Historical Landmark Commission. Okay. We have a motion made by Mr. Rafael Padilla, seconded by Mr. Jesse Montelongo. Mr. Rafael Padilla, Mr. Ricardo Rocha, Mr. Al Borrego, Mr. David Estrada, Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo, and Mr. Jesse Montelongo. Motion carries. Line item number 7, discussion and action on the certificate of appropriateness for the alteration of an existing residential structure on the property located at 10199 Socorro Road.
Do we have a motion?
Yes,
We need a motion to discuss.
I motion to discuss. Second.
So your motion would be what to discuss, though? To approve to discuss, deny to discuss? What is the motion on the table?
Approve to discuss?
Okay.
Sir?
Okay, we have a motion to discuss made by Mr. Jesse Montelongo, seconded by Mr. Ricardo Rocha, Mr. Rafael Padilla. Mr.
We need to discuss before you take the vote. Juan, can I tell you when to change the slide? Yes. Okay, cool. Go to slide 2. So before you, commissioners, is an application located for the property at 10199 Socorro Road. Applicant present is Mr. Lozano. This is a tabled item from the last meeting, which is a review of an updated design and compliance. The concerns brought before the city are, number 1, was the design compliance, and 2, that construction is already in progress, making it a notice of violation because there is no existing appropriate permit on file. Conditional approval is what staff is recommending right now, as long as the design and material that have been reported are what is kept with, and any changes need to be brought back before the commission. Next slide. Currently, this is what the property looks like. As you can see, construction is already in progress without any permits from the Planning and Zoning Department or the HLC. Next slide. This was the previous condition of the property before any work was started. Next slide. And this is another angle of the property before work was started as well. Next slide. All colors chosen are appropriate and approved through the guidelines of the commission. The next slide will show you the updated design. Next slide. The only thing noted here was that the city logo would not be able to be used on any property that is not owned by the city. Okay. Next slide. And next slide. With that, we're happy to answer any questions, or the applicant is also here to answer any questions you might have.
So the changes, I see some changes that have been made. They fall within guidelines.
Yes, so as you recall, his previous design had very straight lines congruent to the county courthouse. That no longer exists. He's replaced it. Can you go to the second design side one? It's the one that has like a green highlighted. Okay, so that's the building that he redesigned. So as you can see, there's more curves. There's nothing really straight. There's no more peaked roofs. It's all rounded. So that would fall within the design guideline.
It went from a country
I'm so sorry.
western. It went from a country western to a more.
He did keep elements of it. If you can go back 2 slides. Should be the one right after the approved colors. The one right after the approved colors.
The one where you were at right now? Yeah. So we still have the ports, the vigas.
So if you look at the building on the far right, that would be the most congruent to a Western aesthetic.
I think it works well. I see the changes. I see all the changes on the different elevations.
Yes, so, well, not all the fishes are going to be the same, so he has different materials that are all approved within the district. Some will be stucco, some will be wood. And then he also has different shingle tiles that are congruent in the actual photos, which would be represented to the hacienda Spanish style. So all in all, it's a mixed material project, but all materials are approved within the district.
Second.
We already had a motion on the table. So we had a motion made by Mr. Montelongo, seconded by Mr. Rocha to approve. If discussion is over, we can take the vote, or we can still discuss if commissioners have any questions or want to hear from the applicant.
I think we should vote.
Go ahead.
We have a motion made to vote by Mr. David Estrada, seconded by,
No. Motion was made by Jesse Montelongo, seconded by Ricardo Rocha to approve.
okay. So we have a motion made by Mr. Jesse Montelongo, seconded by Mr. Ricardo Rocha, Mr. Rafael Padilla. Aye. Mr. Ricardo Rocha. Aye. Mr. Al Borrego.
Aye.
Mr. David Estrada.
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo.
Aye.
And Mr. Jesse Montelongo.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So then, by Friday, Ms. Perez will contact the applicant to go ahead and give him a COA. Go ahead.
I do have a permit for the roof. I started on the roof, but it was in bad shape. And I got a permit first on the roof to fix it.
Okay,
So
good.
obviously, the door down was wrong. And then, of course, I couldn't do the facade until I get this permit. But I had to, get the roof down first. So the roof is more or less done, yet we haven't finished it. It's gonna tie with a new facade. But I do have a permit for it.
So for clarification, though, he does not have a permit from this body. There is no HLC COA permit for construction on the district from this body. This will be the first certificate of appropriateness. Correct. Good. Okay. Go ahead, boss.
Line item number 8, discussion and possible action on HLC projects, updates, and commissioner request of the HLC.
We have a few updates for you since the last 2 weeks. We are starting work on the Steel Hut Monday. That'll be the next phase of the museum project. That item is meant to be an artifact, so it will not be remodeled or modified beyond recognition. It's meant to be kept intact to provide the museum visitor the actual experience of what it was like to be a bracero. So there will not be HVAC. It's meant to be literally a piece of time. So when you go through there, you'll experience what it was like for the braceros to get sprayed with DDT and their x-rays and their tuberculosis tests, which that building was used for. So,
Go there in the middle of August.
middle of July, or also in the middle of December as well. So it's meant to be exactly preserved. We will add lighting, so that way if you go when the sun goes down, you can still visit it and be able to read and see the actual site. But other than that, there will be no real modern amenities made to that single piece of the property.
What is gonna be kind of renovated there, or is it?
So we're going to repair the holes based on rust for the metal. So there'll be pieces that are going to be repaired, and then we're going to do the ingress, egress, or the entrance and exit to make sure that number one, it's ADA compliant, and number two, that there's no safety liability, because right now it is uneven and it's dirt. So they're going to level it and make it easy to access. And then also drainage and grading is a concern, because right now it kind of ponds and pools in front. So they'll go ahead and level it so that way the water runs down into the quarry, which will be on the side. If you're walking on the side over Revisa on the sidewalk, it'll pull right next to it, and you can kind of see the river rocks that they've already installed to capture that. So it'll be a continuation of that. On the outside, there will be lighting, so that way if you're actually just walking around the perimeter, which is something that we want to encourage, you're able to do that safely. And then there will be signage for what actually happened in there. So there'll be some signs, some exhibits to kind of depict the photos and the information, educational information of what went on inside the Coinsett hut. But other than that, it's meant to be an exhibit and nothing really too crazy. The other update that I do have for you is the second phase of construction for the rest of the 3 buildings that are street facing will go out for bid later next month and should be awarded by June, earliest July. So you will see work on the remaining 3 street facing buildings done by Q3, Q4. They'll already be in progress of this year. The other project that will be going out for bid later in May is the historical survey. So that was kind of what we referenced last meeting. Legal is putting the finishing touches on that bid, and it will go out for procurement for a total of 21 days throughout the month of May, and then it'll go before a scoring committee to be reviewed by council to get awarded in June or July. The last thing that we wanted to just remind commissioners about is any visits to any applicant before they're awarded, to not misconstrue any kind of blessing of a project before it gets brought before the commission. We want to make sure that commissioners don't have conflicts of interest when they're either, number one, going to a property, or number two, engaging with an applicant. So just word of caution. Other than that, we do have an update on Mission Trail work. I'm sure you guys have already seen the sidewalks and some of the safety improvements that TxDOT is doing. I'm not sure if you were aware, but they are planning on doing roundabouts on Socorro Road. The first one would be on the corner of Buford and Socorro, and the second one is proposed for Belen and Socorro. They did meet with our city planner today, and they are doing finalizations to their design. Once that gets finalized, I think they will bring it to HLC for review, at which point you guys can put in any kind of feedback regarding what they look like. But this is all meant to be part of the safety improvements that the residents requested along the Mission Trail on Socorro Road. Both of you had your hand up at the same time. Go ahead,
I'm
Mr.
sorry, because I did notice that TxDOT did put up 2, I guess they're LED, and they come out of the ground, and so they won't crash.
You mean the
they're like
lights?
Directional lights, yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
So there's a lot of different safety improvements. I mentioned the roundabout. So the roundabout is kind of the circular driveway.
Where's that at?
They're gonna build it. So the 2 locations I mentioned were Buford and Socorro, and Belen and Socorro.
What was the first location?
Buford
Belen,
and Socorro.
Buford, right?
Buford and
So-
Socorro, and Belen and Socorro.
Next to the Diamond Shamrock, or Cross, or not?
So they go in the road, Mr. Montelongo.
Monday?
They go in the road.
Uh-huh.
It's a roundabout. And we can show you examples at the next meeting.
Well, I've seen them in other countries, but I'm just not used to it being on a small street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very small there. So are they gonna do eminent domain or anything to do it?
No, because it would just go through the street. They're not
So they
gonna.
just wanna slow the traffic down, a bottleneck it?
It's meant to be a traffic calming device.
Okay, no, because they do speed through there, I mean, they do, I'm not gonna kid around, it's dangerous.
So they put the roundabout, there won't be any stop signs there anymore? It's gonna be yield?
There will still. They probably won't have stop signs on Buford or Belen. No. But that would be for them to determine, not for us. Yeah. Was that your question?
I had a question, but regarding something different.
Oh, okay.
Was the city able to locate one of those design magnet pamphlets that we did back in the 90s?
We don't have one from the 90s. The only design packets that we have are the ones that are published on the website. So that's the last one that the city has. That's why we need to upgrade them.
Is it on the app, sir?
It's on the website.
On the website? The caustics? Wow.
Any questions, concerns, comments?
That's gonna be interesting.
But this is.
I'm serious, it's gonna be interesting. God bless everybody, and I hope there's less accidents. On our property, we've already had 6 accidents. A telephone pole torn down, there's still half of it in the ground. They wouldn't even take it out, we had to take it out ourselves. And the electric company, all they did was move their wires to a metal pole, and then I had to call Spectrum to come get their stuff off of that old pole to move over to the new pole. And we finally got that, we had to get our own machinery to get, because they wouldn't do it, to get that piece of wood out of there before somebody got hurt. And now there's still a piece of wood in there enterrado, but I'm afraid if I do it myself, I might get shocked or stuck in there, or there's a ground, I don't know. So I'm gonna try to find somebody, an electrician, someone that knows what they're doing to get that thing out of there, because it's just it's another, we've had 6 crashes. Miss Nelson next door, God bless her, you know, she saw a drunk came over there, it's all drunks. A drunk came over there and tore her whole.
I think we're not posted
we're
for
way off
this.
topic. We need to
Yeah.
move on to the next agenda item.
It's just, we need lighting there, and I'm glad they're finally putting lighting there, because, it's very dangerous. And, actually, the roundabouts actually
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea.
So as TxDOT continues to advance in their project, I'm sure they'll send us some designs because they've been working with Ms. Camilo on that.
Thank you, sir.
Is there any questions, concerns? There's nothing left. Just make sure to follow our social media accounts. Ms. Bettis will be posting some announcements this coming weekend regarding some interesting events happening on the Mission Trail for 4th of July. Other than that, I don't believe we have anything other to discuss. We'll have an update for you at the May meeting on anything that comes up, though.
I'm sorry, just for clarification, the roundabouts you said would come through the historic.
They would be
commission,
on Socorro Road, yeah.
But they would come through this commission for review or no? Did I misunderstand?
Not for review, but probably for input.
For input, okay. And you said there was gonna be one on Buford and Socorro.
One on Buford and Socorro and one on Belen and
one
Socorro.
on
That's
Belen and
the, that's what it looks like right now. It hasn't been finalized, so that can change, but that's what they're proposing right now.
So the input would be kind of like if they decide to do some sort of design on the roundabout, or?
More than likely, it would be, does it fit the historical guidelines? Not necessarily like the location, but we would be able to kind of say, hey, this material isn't congruent. So it would follow the same procedure.
If I can make a comment, you know, a runabout never happens in a one-lane road, because you have big rigs going through there. They will not be able to turn at all. Big rigs or.
So we're, unfortunately, Mr. Lozano didn't sign up for comment, so it's not open. But again, that's not a city project, it's a state project.
Okay.
Any other?
No, thank you for telling us that, and you know what you just said, I was lucky enough to, I was out there and they stopped by the property, and the other guy that was in charge of that project, he's gone, he's in Northeast now, and there's a lady in charge of that project, the runabouts, and she showed me a printout, and she showed me the pictures, And I said, okay, but I didn't know where or what or how, or so I'm glad you explained it better,
Yeah.
because I saw the picture and I almost had a heart attack.
And I'll make sure that Ms. Camilo kind of sends us over updates as she receives them too, as long as they pertain to the Mission Trail.
Yes, sir.
Good?
No motion is needed for this item. Line item number 10, adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Third, fourth.
We have a motion made by Mr. David Estrada, seconded by Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo, Mr. Rafael Padilla, Mr. Ricardo Rocha, Mr. Al Borrego, Mr. David Estrada,
Aye.
Dr. Elizabeth Ponce Lugo,
Aye.
and Mr. Jesse Montelongo.
Aye.
The time is now 6:20, and this meeting is now adjourned.
Well, everybody have a beautiful